Esther's Reboot Challenge, Day 18, page 85. Chapter 6, Reboot Formula 3, Independent Worker. It was in early April 2020 that MKTV finally hit the 1 million subscribers mark. The first video I released after hitting the 1 million mark was titled Spring Club 6-Week Project. In this case, spring referred to the heater metal coil, not the season. I named the club Spring because I wanted to encourage my subscribers to remain resilient and bounce back like a coiled spring. I wanted to help them find opportunities in the present crisis instead of feeling constantly weighed down by the coronavirus. During the project, each morning I uploaded a video in which I expressed my thoughts about the coronavirus pandemic and solutions to it. I called on my subscribers to explain their situations in a comments box. In this way, we collaborated on ways to overcome the economic recession and crisis by appropriately applying the solutions we came up with. The day after uploading the first video of the project, I read a comment that reduced me to tears. It had been left by a single mom subscriber, Esther. She wrote, "I'm a single mom who barely makes it day to day by trying to build a stronger immunity. When it's getting really difficult, I wrap up for the day listening to your motivational speeches. And then today, I was told not to come to work anymore. I cry so much on the street. My child is 6 years old and I usually leave my child at home before I go to work because I cannot send him to a daycare at the moment. I hurried home almost running because I knew my child was waiting for me to come home after work. And I don't even remember how I got there. I tried to remain positive, but that's hard. I really didn't want to break down in front of my child, but when our eyes met, tears just started pouring out. What should I do now?" The situation was already hard enough. She was on her own trying to feed too. I could not imagine how she felt when she had to leave her 6-year-old child alone at home in order to make a living. And now that she could not even do that, how devastated she must be. I couldn't think of any words of comfort to give her. I just kept crying. The coronavirus storm is hitting those who need the most protection. They are targeted most, and they are losing the protective shields that society should have in place for them. The first video garnered many comments by dozens of people besides Esther, and many of them confided that they had lost their jobs or were afraid they were going to be laid off soon. What could I say to them? First, I examined the current employment situation facing Koreans. According to some statistics, in March 2020 alone, as many as 1.6 million people were forced to take temporary leave from their jobs, while 467,000 workers lost their jobs in the following month. What will happen to all these people who have been put on temporary leave? Will they ever be able to return to work? In truth, we already know the answer. Many of them won't. Even if they do, they will have little job security. We don't know when social distancing will end, and this crisis could repeat itself at any time in the near future. Businesses have already begun giving jobs to machines, AI, and robots instead of to humans. In order to survive the crisis, in Gangnam, Seoul, an unmanned cafe has opened where customers can order coffee just by pressing a touchpad without being helped by human employees. Another rubber-stamped cafe is open 24 hours without any human beings on the premises. Even the cosmetic industry saw the launching of a self-service store that operates without any humans to provide service. Now, we know that on-tech is more than just a digital trend. It is an unavoidable part of our society that we have to accept in order to survive. We may be losing traditional jobs because of digital technology, but the truth is, we all need the technology in order to survive. There is no turning back. If you have already left your job, it might be difficult to return to it. Or it might be impossible because you can be replaced by a machine. What about those people who remain in their jobs? Is their position secure? In many offices, there is an unsettled feeling. If you are one of those who has a bad feeling about your future, you might be too far off. Many have been how lockdowns impact the local and national economy. But it doesn't stop there. Even global corporations aren't immune. Take my home country, for example. In the second quarter of 2020, Korea saw the largest quarter-to-quarter drop in exports since 1963. As countries around the world strengthen their protective trade policies, it will be a particularly hard blow to companies that are heavily dependent on exports. Thank you.